You might have heard that Alphabet's DeepMind revealed yesterday that it had solved the key protein folding problem that has bedeviled biologists for a long time using its AI, a breakthrough that could help speed up drug discovery, among other things, in the future. And you might have thought, gee, another breakthrough for AI, ho-hum. But really, you need to understand what a big deal this is. The protein folding problem is something that has bedeviled scientists for over 50 years. This clears a huge logjam in theoretical development, quoting the New York Times. Proteins are the microscopic mechanisms that drive the behavior of viruses, bacteria, the human body, and all living things. They begin as strings of chemical compounds before twisting and folding into three-dimensional shapes that define what they can do and what they cannot. For biologists, identifying the precise shape of a protein often requires months, years, or even decades of experimentation. It requires skill, intelligence, and more than a little elbow grease. Sometimes they never succeed. Now, an artificial intelligence lab in London has built a computer system that can do the job in a few hours, perhaps even a few minutes. DeepMind, a lab owned by the same parent company as Google, said on Monday that its system called AlphaFold had solved what is known as the protein folding problem. Given the string of amino acids that make up a protein, the system can rapidly and reliably predict its three-dimensional shape. This long-sought breakthrough could accelerate the ability to understand diseases, develop new medicines, and unlock mysteries of the human body. Computer scientists have struggled to build such a system for more than 50 years. For the last 25, they have measured and compared their efforts through a global competition called the Critical Assessment of Structure Prediction, or CASP. Until now, no contestant had ever come close to solving the problem. DeepMind solved the problem with a wide range of proteins, reaching an accuracy level that rivaled physical experiments. Many scientists had assumed that moment was still years, if not decades, away. "I always hoped I would live to see this day," said John Molt, a professor at the University of Maryland who helped create CASP in 1994 and continues to oversee the biennial contest. "But it wasn't always obvious I was going to make it," end quote. I'm also going to include a tweet thread from scientist Adam Rutherford in the show notes, who tweeted this, among other things, quote, "Bear in mind that all life is either made of or by proteins. So understanding the process from the gene sequence to the working protein is fundamental to biology, but it's also very important for studying diseases. A genetic disease which is caused by a mutation in a DNA sequence can alter the amino acid sequence and therefore the 3D structure. A single letter change in the DNA of the globin gene will result in a single amino acid change and a misshaped globin protein, and the result is sickle cell anemia. We have been working out how proteins are shaped in 3 dimensions using techniques such as X-ray crystallography, but we can't predict its shape from the original DNA or amino acid sequence. What DeepMind has done is use AI to make that prediction, an extraordinarily complex process of calculation, trial and error, and guesswork under very specific biological rules, and go from DNA to 3D protein. It's radical because it means we can predict now how mutations in DNA will change the function of a protein. That will be incredibly important for fundamental biology, for studying diseases, and for designing drugs that treat diseases that are fundamentally born of misfolded proteins," end quote.